What a gorgeous sunny day here on the homestead. You know who's loving it? Our tomatoes. Look at these guys. They're about 18 inches tall and they need to be trellised. And they also need to start being pruned. We're going to show you how to do both, so stick with us today. Okay, first things first. You want to understand whether your tomatoes are determinate tomatoes or indeterminate tomatoes. Indeterminate tomatoes are the vining type of tomatoes that produce continually throughout a season. They'll put out fruit, it'll ripen, they'll put out more fruit, it'll ripen, they'll keep growing. Determinate tomatoes don't do that. You usually all fruit out at a pretty much the same time, and they're more of a bush style of tomato. Now right here we've got a pink Brandywine and a black Versanage. And both of these are indeterminate style tomatoes or type of tomatoes, and they need to be trellised. Now let me bring you in here for a closer look to see how we did this. So the first thing we've done here is we pounded a garden stake here in between two of our tomatoes. We've drilled a hole in that garden stake and attached some twine through that hole. From that hole, or the stake, over to our tomato, we're going to start to wrap it very gently around the main stalk of the tomato and then up to our trellis wire. Let's show you how we do that on this one. We're going to take our twine and we're going to tie it off through the hole in our stake here. We're going to come over to our tomato plant here and we're going to use one of these garden clips here. These are really nice to have. I'll put these in the Amazon store, of course. And you want to be, that's just going to hold it here on the bottom because it's really fairly thin still, and it needs some support with that clip. Now we're going to gently wrap our twine here around and through the tomato, being careful not to hurt any of our fruiting branches, like this one right here. As you can see, I'm behind that fruiting branch, I'm under the other ones, and then we're going to take this twine up to our trellis wire. Now that we have our tomato secured, we are going to want to start to prune it. Now there's two things you want to do when pruning your tomatoes, and the first one is to keep leaves and all these branches about 6 inches up off the bottom of your garden bed. What that does is prevent disease from coming into those leaves. Tomatoes are susceptible to a lot of different things, blights and a whole range of different diseases, and properly pruning them, keeping light and air under and on the ground, helps mitigate that. Also, when it rains, now it's mitigated when it rains by this back to Eden style garden here, but when it rains, the rain can splash up those bacterial spores off the ground and into and onto the leaves of the plant. So it's very helpful to just remove the ones here at the bottom, and like I said, about 6 inches up. And I just toss those down here. Some of these are small enough where you can just pinch them off. If not, like on our other ones over here, make sure you have your good set of bypass pruners here, and always clean it off for every variety with your alcohol wipe here. So let's take a look here and see what we need to prune off. Look at this. So this one is a sucker. You can tell by the branches coming out which ones are suckers and which ones are not. Now pruning off these suckers is going to give all your growth into the main vine of your tomato and your fruit. So you can see we've got a regular leafing branch here. Right out of the crotch of that leafing branch right here is your sucker. You want to get rid of that. And then right above that, as you can see, is the fruiting branch. So let's go ahead and remove this sucker right here, that's going to give our plant some great vitality, and we're going to be able to put all that energy towards the fruit. Because if you let these suckers grow, you're going to get another, essentially, tomato plant coming off the side. Now, if you want, this right here is essentially another tomato plant. You can put this in a cup of water, and in a few days, maybe 5 to 7 days, it should root for you. You can use that and transplant more tomatoes. Here I've run out of room for tomatoes in the garden, so I'm not going to do that. But we just need to come through here and clip off and prune out all of these suckers out of the crotches of our main leafing branches. Now you'll have to continually do this because these suckers will start to grow back. So you want to maintain a close eye on your tomato plants here and make sure that they are free of suckers. Here's one at the top I'm going to take off. And that they're growing properly. Well, as you can see, guys, it's really simple to maintain your tomatoes for great tomato production and reduction in disease. As you can see, we've got our first two done here. They're tied up to our trellis wire, and we're excited that they're going to start growing quicker and quicker in this beautiful warm weather. Sorry about that, guys. Little technical difficulty. I'm here a few days later. My batteries ran out in my microphones. What I was saying was if you prune off those suckers, you're going to get all of that growing power, that growing energy into the fruit and into the rest of the tomato plant as it grows up your twine. Anyway, have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share it with friends. And also, if you like, go check out in the description below our link to our Amazon store. Specifically, the twine and the clips are in there as well. These are things we recommend. Very cool products, and doesn't cost you a penny extra. So go check that out through our Amazon link to our Amazon store. We really appreciate it. Have a great day, and we will see you next time.